Hello everyone! Today on Binky's Gaming Thoughts, I will begin the analyses of each individual card from the Dragon Age Inquisition Tarot Deck. Today what I'm going to start with are the first three Major Arcana cards, that being the Fool, the Magician, and the High Priestess. Before I begin, I'm just going to take a quick moment for the sponsor segment. 0, the Fool. The Dragon Age Inquisition card is Sera, the default form of Sera. We can see that for the Rider-Waite deck, the name is the same, the Fool. Same for the Miniature Tarot. And it is called the Green Man for the Green Witch Tarot deck. So, in terms of significance, for Sera, for this particular card, a fool in a king's court is a jester, a performer, and makes pranks. Sera's personality is similar to that. Plus, when she's friends with her Inquisitor, the pranks are just hilarious. So this is very fitting for Sera to be the Fool. The card itself represents new beginnings, moving forward confidently, going one's own way, risk-taking, fearlessness, primal energy, rebellion, unorthodox behavior, enthusiasm, spontaneity, and in certain occasions, next to certain cards, fertility, etc. Most of these are attributes that Sera possesses, on the most part. The reverse of the card represents recklessness, self-destructive urges, unpredictability, lack of restraint or self-control, impulsiveness, repression, inhibition, etc. So we see again that Sera possesses some of these reverse traits as well. So let's look at the card itself.
The image shows Sera standing tall with her bow, wearing her red Jenny outfit. Behind her, tall, snowy mountains representing the Frostback Mountains, as she stands on the roof of Skyhold. Circular plants and bushes at her feet representing the rolling in of a new start, as she once took on such a new start when she joined the Inquisition. The Fool is associated with spring, thus the mountains of snow are somewhat behind her as winter nears its end. Lush greens and vibrant red represent new life and rebirth. Orange, a joy of life.
All right, so what do I think this means for the future of Sera as a character and as a companion? So I think she will always be a red Jenny, but she's left a more or less undisciplined part of herself behind, as though the Inquisition, being part of the Inquisition, made her more disciplined. I believe that she will grow more mature in the future without losing her fool's nature, like the fool nature of herself. What do I think this means for the future of the Dragon Age franchise? Well, I think as we move closer to winter, we leave the Frostback Mountains behind, and thus Skyhold. But we will reach the summit and potentially witness a rebirth and restoration. But of what? What rebirth? What restoration? Solavalon? Arlathan? Thedas? Tevinter? We'll see. We'll see. It's also possible that Sera is the original red Jenny. And so maybe she is red Jenny. So we'll have to see for that. 1. The Magician. The Dragon Age Inquisition card is Dorian, the default Dorian. We can see that the Rider-Waite name is the Magician. The miniature, also the Magician. And on the Green Witch Tarot, it's called the Witch. So in terms of significance, Dorian is from Tevinter. And most Tevinter are magisters, and he's a powerful mage, even if at the beginning he's not a magister because he's so adamant that not all mages from Tevinter are necessarily part of the magisterium and all that stuff, and he later becomes the magister. So it is quite fitting. So a powerful mage is similar to a magician because it represents magic. And like I said, later Dorian becomes a magister. So magister, magician, these words are practically synonyms. Well, they are synonyms. The card itself represents power to make changes, self-reliance, coming into our own, skills for achieving goals, practical use of knowledge, self-promotion, freelance, leadership and willpower, diplomacy, problem-solving, clarity, adaptability, taking charge of one's destiny, things like that. And they are more or less representative of Dorian's story. On the reversed side, you have egotism and not being confident, obsession with self-image, meddling, hesitation, blocked expression, lack of clarity, pessimism, depression, loss of interest, danger, and the likes. So let's take a look at the card itself.
Cloaked with a hidden eye, one eye represents often the one all-seeing eye. So though things may be hidden, he still sees keenly. Around his staff, a white serpent flares, symbol of Tevinter, purity and deception combined. Yellow beams of light like rays shine from his third eye chakra. The faint circles around him and his hand gesture of Vesica Pisces represent the flower of life. As his two fingers touch the symbol of infinity, he holds a book of arcane knowledge in the other hand, as little pink droplets that look like mini stars sprinkle and sparkle.
So what do I think this means for Dorian? Well, he wants to make Tevinter pure again. So maybe he will succeed in doing part of that and in reshaping Tevinter a bit, making an independent group of magisters to reclaim that good reputation. In the future, he could reshape the magisterium itself. Maybe he'll become the new Black Divine. Who knows? What do I think this means for the future of Dragon Age? Well, Tevinter will be the center of new life with infinite power, infinite knowledge, all for us to grab, opening the door for infinite possibilities. Endless possibilities? What canticle was that in? That was like in the Chant of Light, Silence, and Apotheo. It was in a few canticles, wasn't it? So many possibilities. Major Arcana 2, the High Priestess. The Dragon Age Inquisition card for this is the default for Vivian. So we can see that the Rider-Waite card is the same name for all the other decks with which I'm comparing. So we see Rider-Waite's the High Priestess, as well for the miniature, and for the Green Witch Tarot. So in terms of significance for Vivian as the High Priestess, well, she is the Grand Enchanter. She is a very well-esteemed enchanter of the circle, and she's the Grand Enchanter. She's very powerful and yet very disciplined. And there's a possibility of her becoming the first enchanter, but she's just simply a Grand Enchanter, but that's, a High Priestess. That's basically what she is. The card itself represents trust in our own intuition, looking deeper, thus insight, seeing behind the facade, secrets that are revealed, looking for hidden truths and finding them, destinies revealed, cleansing, spiritual developments, dreams, visions, that sort of thing. On the reverse side, we have fatigue, clouded insight, vanity, laziness, loss of motivation, discretion that is required, short-sightedness, the inability to recognize intuition and ignoring intuition, well, due to the inability of recognizing intuition, bringing on the ignoring intuition and that sort of thing. So let's take a look at the symbolism of the card itself.
Dressed in a long flowing gown, she stands confidently, her staff transforming into an upside-down black snake, the symbol of the life force and primal energy. As a spirit guide, and Vivian is a healer, therefore healing and transformation. A circle in a square, a symbol of heaven and earth, floats near her face. Two lines dropping down to meet the circle form an arrow. The power of spirits come down to her aid. She holds a white chalice, its stand becoming one of the many symbols of the divine feminine. The color black represents power, elegance, and yet death and evil. However, a bright light shines on her face, casting aside all shadow of doubt. The face and torso of a masked man in the background depicts her Orlesian lover who is ill. Associated with the moon, the High Priestess represents the magical prowess that Vivian so gracefully embodies.
So what do I think this means for Vivian and her future in the franchise? Well, light will always be cast where there is doubt, and she will leave her post in the shadows and bring forward clarity to the circle and make great changes as a Grand Enchanter. What do I think this means for the future of the Dragon Age franchise? Well, the Circle of Magi will be completely reshaped. There's no choice. So how will it be replaced? I think its darker traditions will be cast aside, and new enlightenment about mages will be brought to Thedas, especially with everything that we're discovering and that sort of thing. And that does it for today. In the description below, I'm gonna have the links to the books I reference that I mentioned in the introduction video, that being The Path of the Fool by Michael Sarian and The Green Witch Tarot Companion by Anne Mora. And all the details for the decks I'm comparing with are in the description as well, so you can check that out if you would like. Like this video if you like it, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, hit the bell icon for notifications, as I will be doing other videos as well. All throughout the week I will also post the videos for the music that you have heard in this video. And I'll see you all soon. Masaranas.
Be sure to check out some of my other stuff, and remember to buy video games at a discounted price and support me at no additional cost to you. Just follow my G2A affiliate link. You can also join in on the fun on Patreon for some exclusive content. Thanks for tuning in.